everybody knows that the Epstein situation has continued to play out.
Well, he's dead, so...
Yeah, well, and we're not actually talking about the Billy Boy stuff today, but there were some updates on him. I don't know if you guys heard about that, but he did admit to cheating on his wife with 2 Russian women.
Damn. He had a menage a trois?
No, I think these were separate incidents.
Oh. 2 Russians? What, he's looking for Russian brides?
Evidently. Or something. I don't know.
They were really smart people, like astro scientists.
If
you're curious exactly what Google
So he claims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look it up. I don't know.
Sounds like a honeypot situation to me, but who knows? Also, it was notable in his coming clean about all of that he didn't mention their ages.
Here's the thing about...
Now, presumably they are over 18, but...
It has to be. That would have been way more...
That would have been way more scandalous.
But here's the thing about Bill Gates, because you said it's a honeypot. I say this as a man who comes from somewhat similar pedigree. Nobody wants to have sex with Bill Gates.
Okay.
Nobody is like, I want that man.
Right.
So honeypot confirmed.
Okay. Got it.
Bill Gates came.
So, anyways, we're not talking about Bill Gates here today. We're talking about enemy number 1 in the MAGA world.
Hillary Clinton.
That's right. The
devil.
The devil, the one that it all comes back to, the center of all that is wrong in this country, past, present, and future. Hillary Clinton and her nasty husband.
Dude, I feel like we'd be in such a better timeline if Hillary became president.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, undoubtedly. And I say that as somebody who's, mixed, very mixed on Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I mean, that's no competition, obviously.
The real timeline split happened when Gore lost.
That's true. That's true.
That's
a whole nother story.
Just chilling.
She's just chilling. But anyways, so...
just chilling in Congress.
Congress is trying to get to the bottom of specifically what they're investigating here is... They're basically investigating the investigation. Congress has been issuing subpoenas and taking depositions and testimony related to what went wrong with the Epstein investigation, which, fair. That seems like an important question because we all have talked about it here on the show of how just absurd the amount of evidence of wrongdoing seems to have been, and yet to this day, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only person in prison over any of this, although
she got a puppy.
What's that?
She got a puppy.
Oh, well, good for her.
But then when they realized, they took it away.
But I'm saying she's getting
took away?
Maybe that's a punishment. It's like give it and then take it away.
My point is that she's getting treated very kindly in prison.
Oh, yes.
Minimum security prison.
Well, is it more cruel to give somebody a cute little puppy and then take it away? Maybe that's actually a form of
it's
torture.
better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
You're right.
True.
You're right.
True.
Mark Twain actually said that.
Yeah, Mark Twain's real name was Samuel Clemens. I don't know.
Of course I knew that.
Did you know
who played the sax? Clarence Clemens.
Clarence Clemens, yeah.
Okay.
Go on, Dan.
My
Don't
favorite
let them,
fruit
don't
is
let them
lemon.
derail you.
No, it's okay. I'm enjoying the sax talk. I don't mind.
Like Thomas the Tank.
You guys fuck a little different instrument. Miles Davis,
Yeah, that's a completely different instrument.
Yeah.
The trumpet.
Guys, it's not
But talented
interesting.
guy.
Why are we talking about a trumpeter?
Okay, John Coltrane.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And let's go back to a second. Why the fuck would you bring up Miles Davis?
Because he's an amazing musician.
It's
I don't
sax
care.
talk, bro.
I don't care.
I know.
He doesn't play the sax.
Dan,
It's brass.
pay no heed.
You know who played the sax? You know who played the sax? This is
Back
relevant.
to Epstein files, please.
I am. This is a wonderful
Bill Clinton.
addition. Bill Clinton
Good.
played the sax.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, yo!
Good.
I really
Good one.
don't play it with.
I really
God, we're really not
You
getting
see,
into
my
that.
favorite note.
I'll play. Here, come blow on my saxophone.
My favorite string is a G string. Of course, that's a guitar.
Come, I'm gonna hit your G spot right here. Blow on my saxophone.
And also my favorite chord.
Come on.
Jesus.
That's right. Yeah.
Computer, mute their mics.
Hey, computer, shut them
At least
all
we're
up.
on topic.
We are on topic. We are talking about the Clintons. So let's first talk. We'll get to Bill. So as I mentioned at the top of the show, Bill is actually in a deposition right now with members of Congress doing his half of this. But Hillary went yesterday.
Okay.
So I was talking this over with some of the people at the office, and I just think that, because of all of the negativity around Hillary, even people on the left don't like her, people on the right don't like her. And, obviously in 2016, she came very close to defeating Trump, but was very controversial at the time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there is a lot of negative bias towards Hillary Clinton and this situation. And when I was kind of giving an overview to some people about it, they were shocked by just some of the simple, plain facts of this. So I think it would be helpful to just read her opening statement. Because I read it and I was like, damn, Hillary, Shillery, you kind of cooked here. So,
and by the way, just a important note, they wanted a public deposition. It's the Republicans who insisted on it being private. I mean, that should tell you all you need to know.
Yeah.
I agree, and that is one of the details that there seems to be a lot of misinformation around. Yes, the Clintons strongly pushed for all of this to be done in a public hearing. The Republicans did not want that. Their given reason was that if it was a public hearing, it would turn into a circus. This is extremely ironic.
Give me a fucking break,
first of all, if you know the history around Hillary Clinton and her infamous email scandal, it was endlessly investigated in public hearings in Congress in an attempt to humiliate her, essentially, and drag her through the mud.
The truth is, they're keeping her in a private hearing because they know that she's going to dunk on them.
Yes, which, I mean, we don't have the transcript of the hearing yet, although we do have some details, and we'll get there. But again, let's just go through her opening statement. It's not that long. So, Mr. Chairman, ranking members of committee, as a former senator, I have respect for the legislative oversight, and I expect its exercise, as do the American people, to be principled and fearless in the pursuit of truth and accountability. As we all know, however, too often congressional investigations are partisan political theater, which is an abdication of duty and an insult to the American people. Okay, I can't disagree with that statement. The committee justified its subpoena to me based on the assumption that I have information regarding the investigations into the criminal activities of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Let me be clear as I can, I do not. As I stated in my sworn declaration on January 13th, I had no idea about their criminal activities. I do not recall ever encountering Mr. Epstein. I never flew on his plane, never visited his island, home, or offices. I have nothing to add to that. Like every decent person, I've been horrified by what we've learned about their crimes. It is unfathomable that Mr. Epstein initially got a slap on the wrist in 2008, which allowed him to continue his predatory practices for another decade. Hard to disagree with that, too. Mr. Chairman, your investigation is supposed to be assessing the federal government's handling of the investigation and prosecutions of Epstein and his crimes. This is an important point, and this is what I was emphasizing at the beginning. The point of these hearings is to figure out what the hell happened here. Not even specifically like what he did, but like how this investigation could have been.
Who better to ask than Hillary Clinton?
And
the president.
Right. So you subpoenaed 8 law enforcement officials, all of whom ran the Department of Justice or directed the FBI when Epstein's crimes were investigated and prosecuted. Of those 8, only 1 appeared before the committee. 5 of the 6 former attorney generals were allowed to submit brief statements stating they had no information to provide. So she's pointing out we're all here to figure out why this didn't get investigated properly. There are 8 people who were in charge of this investigation over the years. Of those 8, only 1 was required to appear before the committee. And 5 of the 6 former attorney generals, they just gave like kind of a whatever, I don't know anything statement. And that apparently was fine with them.
Yeah.
This is an excellent point that she's raising here. Why?
She's a brilliant lady.
Even if she has, some association through Epstein, through her husband, which he does, I should say, she was not in charge of any of this stuff. And that is the point of this hearing. So anyways, you've had 0 public hearings, refused to allow the media to attend them, including today, despite espousing the need for transparency on dozens of occasions. Again,
cooking.
They keep talking about how they want to get to the bottom of this. They want transparency, and yet they are not having public hearings on this.
Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Why did this investigation fall apart, Hillary? You were president in 2000 and...
I'm just chilling.
What was it, 12? What was that?
16.
You won that election. Wait, you didn't?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should go ask the guy in charge.
Well, she won the popular vote.
Yeah.
She
Right.
actually did win the popular vote. That's right.
Maybe we should question her.
You have made little effort to call the people who showed up most prominently in the Epstein files. And when you did, not a single Republican member showed up for Les Wexner's deposition. Did you know that? So Les Wexner, the billionaire owner of Victoria's Secret that basically gave Jeffrey Epstein all of his money,
Yes.
he was called in to this committee. None of the Republicans showed up for
What
that.
the fuck?
What?
They weren't interested.
Les
What?
The guy
Wexner,
who
He's
was there
the
from
guy.
beginning.
he looks
He's
so guilty.
no, he's
Like,
the guy.
He's the guy.
He's
Yes.
the guy that gave Epstein
He
all of his
gave
money.
him money, gave him apartments. Like
Power
what?
of attorney.
Yeah, power of attorney.
That is fucking pathetic. Holy fuck, dude.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Who's on that committee, dude? They're just covering it up more.
It's pretty wild.
Dude, it's upsetting.
So let's keep going. The institutional failure is designed to protect one political party and one public official rather than seek the truth and justice of the victims and survivors. What public official do you think she's referring to there? Is she saying it's all designed to protect? I guess we can just speculate on that. As well as the public who wants to get to the bottom of this matter, my heart breaks for the survivors, and I'm furious on their behalf. I spent my life advocating for women and girls, and I've worked hard to stop. Get Jugga Joe out of here. This is not appropriate.
Tamara, please.
This is not an appropriate time for that.
Good Joe.
I've spent my life advocating for women and girls. I have worked hard to stop the terrible abuses. So many women and girls. You see what I mean tomorrow? It's not an appropriate time for Joe to be on screen. Stop! Base here, including human trafficking, forced labor, and sexual slavery for too long. These have been largely invisible crimes, not treated as crimes at all, but the survivors are real and they're entitled to better. She goes on. I'm going to skip over a little bit. She talks about her work over the years on this very issue. She's traveled the world, Eastern Europe and Southeast Asia to combat sex trafficking. She signed the she pushed for the Trafficking and Victims Protection Act when she was Secretary of State, yada, yada, yada. She's basically showing her credentials as somebody that has spent a decent chunk of her career going after sex trafficking. Infuriatingly, the Trump administration gutted the Trafficking in Persons Office at the State Department. This is the department that she helped set up, cutting more than 70% of career civil and foreign service experts who work so hard to prevent trafficking crimes. Okay, this is, I think, fair to bring up when we're talking about how seriously we are about getting to the bottom and stopping these kinds of crimes. Actions speak louder than words, right? The State Department that goes after this kind of stuff, Trump cut their budget by 70%, fired a bunch of people.
Makes sense to me.
This is a tragedy. This is a scandal, deserves vigorous investigation and oversight. The committee endeavoring to stop human trafficking would seek to understand what specific steps are needed to fix a system that allowed Epstein to get away with his crimes in 2008. A committee run by elected officials with a commitment to transparency would ensure full release of all files. Calling for release of all files, again. I would ensure that the lawful redactions of those files protected the victims and survivors, not powerful men and political allies. Again, calling attention to the fact that in the released files, they essentially accidentally doxed a number of the victims while seemingly being very careful to remove potential perpetrators' names from
including the torture guy.
Including the torture guy, right. Yep. I would subpoena anyone who asked on which night there would be the, quote, wildest party on Epstein's Island.
True.
We've talked about that here quite a bit. I agree. Why has Elon Musk not been called up?
Doesn't get worse than that.
Yes. I would demand testimony from prosecutors in Florida and New York about why they gave Epstein a sweetheart deal and chose not to pursue others who have been implicated.
Yes.
Again, like Hillary Clinton or not, everything that she's listing here, I cannot disagree with. These are very obvious steps that should have been taken a long time ago.
Imagine if this actually is what
And
was
it's obvious
Yeah.
to everybody. Come on. Like, who are we kidding?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I doubt the partisans are like, wow, the Republicans didn't show up to Les Wexner's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do they care? Is anyone talking about that?
Probably not. No.
Like, that's
I really
just so
wonder, are they
egregious.
just like deeply in denial right now? Because it's very obvious what's happening.
There's a lot of people who are
Feels that
upset,
way.
but also I don't know how much they're looking into it. Or
I mean,
about the details of it.
we'll get into it. I mean, Hillary, we're going to see her. She did a press conference afterwards where she commented on a little bit and talked about the type of questions that a lot of the Republicans were asking her. It's quite humorous. She did acknowledge that there were a couple of Republican congresspeople who asked her questions that were actually relevant and could potentially point in a direction to get to something. So again, there are, and we talked about this last time. The guy who's teamed up with Ro Khanna,
Yes.
Thomas Macy, I believe is his name. So he is a Republican who seems pretty earnest about wanting to get to the bottom of this. There was also, in the twist of the century, MTG, though she is no longer in Congress because she resigned. But
Who?
Marjorie Taylor Greene, who once upon a time was Trump's strongest soldier, quite literally.
She the dude that gave someone a hand job in a theater? Or was
no, that's
Boebert?
Boebert, and she comes up in this story.
Never
actually,
forget.
there's a Boebertism in this story, so we'll get there. So we're almost there.
While she was in office, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It would demand that Secretary Rubio and Attorney General Bondi testify about why this administration is abandoning survivors and playing into the hands of traffickers. It would seek out officers on the front lines of this fight and ask them what support they need. It would put forth legislation to provide more resources and force this administration to act. But none of those things are happening. Instead, you have compelled me to testify, fully aware that I have no knowledge that would assist your investigation, in order to distract attention from President Trump's actions and cover them up despite legitimate calls for answers.
Spitting.
In this committee, if this committee is serious about learning the truth about Epstein's trafficking crimes, it would not rely on press gaggles to get answers from our current president on his involvement. It would ask him directly under oath about tens of thousands of times that he shows up in the Epstein files.
Boom.
I agree.
Cooked. Put her in charge of the...
If the majority was serious, it would not waste time on fishing expeditions. There is too much that needs to be done.
Right.
What is being held back, who is being protected, and why the cover-up? My challenge to you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, is the same challenge I put to myself throughout my long service to this nation. How to be worthy of the trust of American people have given to you. They expect statesmanship, not gamesmanship, leading, not grandstanding. They expect you to use your power to get to the truth and do more to help survivors of the Epstein crimes, as well as the millions more who are victims of sex trafficking. There it is. That's the statement. So, again, I don't think you have to like Hillary Clinton to. You could even think she's lying and she is guilty of being associated with Epstein. None of the things that she enumerated here as steps that should be taken are incorrect, in my opinion. So you can completely set aside any personal feelings you have about her, any speculation about her involvement in it. I mean, she's not wrong that the people that would have the answers that everybody wants are not being asked those questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as she pointed out, having her deposed has zero
This specific
value
mission,
to the investigation.
This specific investigation,
or relevance.
Yeah, this specific investigation is about what went wrong with the investigation. Hillary Clinton never had anything to do with the investigation. So even if, again, just
was
to
never
play
president,
devil's
by the way.
advocate, she's completely guilty. She eats babies. She drinks baby blood. It's all true. It's all true.
Play devil's advocate for a second.
She would still not have any answers for this committee.
She wasn't in charge.
She wasn't in charge of any of these investigations.
Yeah, she lost.
Right.
She won president.
She was not the president. So,
She was Secretary of State under Obama, right?
Secretary of State under Obama.
So maybe you could ask her about that time. I don't know, but
Again, that you would want to ask Eric Holder, Obama's Attorney General, or somebody like that. You know what I mean?
right.
I think that's totally legitimate. In fact, she calls that out
Yeah.
when she said the 6 attorney generals.
Yeah.
That would be during Obama's term as well, and,
Right.
and Biden's. We're talking all the way from Bush, Obama,
Yeah.
Trump 1, and Biden. That. So we have both parties there, and she's saying, ask the people that were in charge of the investigation during that time. I think that's a completely reasonable request. So
I do.
I met Eric
Bush.
Holder, by the way.
you met Eric
What?
Holder
Yeah.
through your dad or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. At an NAACP dinner. Yeah.
that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Obama. All right. So that was her statement. So I just wanted to read that because, I suspect a lot of people wouldn't take the time to actually go through what she's saying. And Hillary is she's such a loaded figure in politics that I think people have their preconceived notions about her and don't really need to engage with what's actually happening. But the fact is, she wanted a public deposition to talk about all of this. They refused to give that to her. They said, you got to do it behind closed doors. And if you actually look at what she is saying about this, regardless of any feelings you have for her, anybody who's serious about wanting answers with this situation, I don't think can disagree with what she laid out there. So they do the deposition. It lasts for roughly 6 to 7 hours of questioning. During the deposition, a little something got posted to Twitter by friend of the show.
Was meant to be like private.
This is a private deposition. And all of a sudden, Benny Johnson, breaking. The first image of Hillary Clinton testifying under oath about Jeffrey Epstein to the Republican Oversight Committee. This is the first time Hillary has had to answer real questions about Epstein. Clinton does not look happy. Photo provided by Lauren Boebert.
That's the girl who gave a hand job in the theater.
And Hillary never gave a hand job in a movie theater that we know of.
Nah, I don't know of any reporting about that.
Actually, she might have.
Yeah, well, some of the other women.
Wait,
that
so why
that
are they
Clinton
posting a
slept with
picture?
might have, but
Are they allowed to?
no.
Look at all those. Look at all the watermarks.
Look at the watermarks, just in case you were wondering who posted.
Benny show. Benny show.
What?
Benny show. Benny show. Benny show.
What are they
Benny show. Benny show.
doing?
Benny show. Benny show.
They just really want you to know. So
And nobody tells them to take it down?
they do. I guess they weren't able to have him take it down. But this, so Lauren Boebert sneaks a creeper shot of Hillary Clinton while she's in there,
Which is
sends
funny
it-
because once
texts it
again,
to Benny Johnson.
What
He
the
posts it
hell?
online. It immediately gets back to them in the room, and they actually adjourn.
During?
Yes, during, and they pause and interrupt the deposition.
Wow.
Basically derailing the whole thing while they figure out what the hell just happened.
Oh my God.
Because these things are very tightly controlled and negotiated and agreed upon. And one of
Right.
the things is that, it's supposed to be closed door.
well,
Now,
the picture is not that subtle about who sent it.
yeah. So
and they gotta feel like the biggest asshole when they stop the proceedings.
I don't think she. Has
I don't
much
know
shame.
if Lauren Boebert has much self-awareness, if I'm being honest.
It's like dealing with children. What is going on?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So I don't know why they thought this was interesting or a good idea. If anything, it just derails thing. Again,
And it's
people
just
are
a
not-
creeper shot. Like, what is it helping anybody? Who cares?
If we're serious, are we serious about this investigation or not? What are these games? What's happening here? And again, Hillary wanted it public.
Right.
It's the Republicans that didn't want it public. So why is a Republican now leaking photos inside?
I mean, Hillary's like,
My
push
God.
the video button.
Right, exactly.
Let's put it up.
Exactly. So now part of all this and
What a dope
the way
that
that
is.
they're sort of they're laughing it off is that this testimony will be made public eventually, a transcript of it, but not before. Basically, it's going to go through lawyers, and that's like part of the deal is that things can be struck from the record and everything. I mean, you guys have done depositions before. You know how it goes. So the transcript of the deposition is different than it being a public hearing, obviously. But regardless, it's just bizarre, and it just, I think, really demonstrates a lack of seriousness on the part of the GOP members. Now, like I said before, Hillary Clinton, she did give a little bit of credit to what's his name, the main dude, Comer, who was running. He's the chairman, James Comer, of this committee. She did say that he had some decent questions, but some of the questions she got were super weird.
Well, I have just finished
When's the last time you've watched a video of Hillary Clinton speaking? It was kind of tripping me out.
She looks good.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh,
She looks
this is
great.
from now?
This is from right after.
Wow.
She sucked the life force out of Bill.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Yeah, I mean, oh God, Bill, you horn dog.
She looks fantastic.
You're
Yeah.
goddamn right she does.
It's the adrenochrome or whatever, right?
What, they cut Bill
Testifying.
off or what?
Maybe. Well, he got caught.
You're cut off.
He got caught, so he's cut off.
You're a liability.
Yeah. All right. So let's listen to a little bit of her press conference here.
I answered every one of their questions as fully as I could, based on what I knew, and what I knew is what I said in my statement this morning. I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance, but whatever they asked me, I did my very best to respond. It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing, so I wouldn't have to be out here characterizing it for you. You could have seen it for yourself. We had asked for that. We think it would have been better for the committee and its efforts to gather whatever information they are seeking. We had a bit of a challenge in the beginning because we had agreed upon rules based on the fact it was going to be a closed hearing at their demand. And one of the members violated that rule, which was very upsetting because it suggested that they might violate other of our agreements. So we had to cease the hearing for a period of time until we could get assurances that no rules would
What
be
happens to
broken
Lauren?
going forward.
Yeah, do you kick her off? Like, what?
So I looked into this. Really, the only consequence of that kind of thing, of violating like a congressional rule, is Congress itself punishing her, either like voting to censor her, or, I mean, theoretically impeaching her or something. Will the Republican-controlled House of Representatives do anything about that? No. So basically, nothing. There's really no consequence to her.
What a classless fucking loser.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's the type of girl to give a handy in a fucking theater. Surrounded by families and shit, by the way. It wasn't like a
It was
Pee-wee.
Beetlejuice the musical.
It wasn't like a Pee Wee Herman situation where he's like in an adult theater jerking off.
Yeah.
No,
That's
she was at
fucked
a family event.
Yeah,
That's really fucked up. I didn't know that.
By the
She's a
way,
sick fuck.
and just another detail, and I don't mean to slut shame, but it was a first date.
Wait, how do you know that?
That was part of the story.
Andy in the theater on the first date.
What?
That's a W.
I'll remind you, she also.
does that?
She also. Okay, actually, let me be careful here. Her husband, I believe, is a registered sex offender for pulling out his dick.
Yes.
Bowling alley.
Yes.
And I think she might have actually caught a charge for that same incident, so she might technically have a sex offense charge too. But I'm not. Google it. I don't know. That's what. I'm not.
Look it up.
I know
I don't
her
know.
husband for sure.
Oh my god.
Or I think I'm sorry, ex-husband.
I have
Ex-husband.
recollection this being on a body cam. If memory serves
It was
me.
CCTV
CCTV
of them
yeah.
leaving.
Wait, you're talking about the Beetlejuice?
I remember
part.
both
Yeah.
of them were.
I don't
Here's
think
about
there's
her
any
ex.
footage of the I don't know.
No, there was a photo. There was a photo.
There was, yeah.
The bowling alley incident?
No, of her
No,
jerking off the guy.
hand
There-
jobs.
there's CCTV.
Yeah, there's
footage.
full video evidence of them walking and leaving there.
Yeah.
Jason Boebert, the
Yeah,
ex-husband,
so
U.S. Rep. Lauren Boebert, pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment in June 2024. Wow, that was recently. Following two separate incidents involving domestic altercations, he was sentenced to 6 months of unsupervised probation. Wait, what is? That's unrelated. Hold on.
There's another charge.
The
I said
bottom?
I didn't think she was not sexually. I mean, she was not charged.
Okay, so she didn't get.
Yeah, she didn't
okay,
get
that's why I was
charged.
being careful because I didn't.
He
Think that
did time for lewd exposure in a bowling alley, and
Yeah.
she was
In a
there when it
bowling
happened.
alley.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, her and her husband were screaming
It was
at and
cosmo
accosting. They were like pissed off at a group of teenagers, and they were yelling at them. And the husband,
Oh.
in like his fury, decided to whip his dick out. I guess. Yeah,
Is he
Here's
trying
a-
to assert
here's-
dominance?
It is a really weird story.
Here's an accounting of it. Trish and I were standing at the snack bar. She came up and looked at my tattoo on my back. And she pulled down her sock and said, "Look, mine is fading," she wrote. Her tattoo may have been omitted. Then Jason said, "I have a tattoo on my dick." Trish and I said, "Yeah, whatever," and turned away to ignore him. Then Jason came up behind us and pulled his penis out of his pants.
Wow, it's even worse than I remember.
His thumb was covering the head. And all we saw was the shaft.
Oh my
Trish
god.
and I turned away and went and told Larry. It's for the Larry Macau, the owner.
That's pronounced macaque.
McCon.
That's called a callback, Ethan.
Got him.
Macaque. The owner of Fireside Lane and Rifle, Colorado, called the sheriff's department. Boebert had refused to leave and became belligerent. Boebert told deputies he had not exposed his penis, but had stuck his thumb through the fly of his pants as a prank.
Yeah, right. Nice try.
We've all,
Yeah,
we've all
right.
seen that.
Trisha Whaley's disputed that
As if
in her
that's
account,
the final.
writing, "I know that wasn't a thumb because thumbs aren't 6 inches long."
It says
Lauren Boebert told deputies she had not seen the exposure happen. Anyway,
Was there a tattoo on his cock? Did we ever find that out?
I guess.
sounds like there is. I mean, sounds like we don't know what.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Somebody in the chat said, "Bro thinks he's Lyndon B. Johnson." Do you know about that whole thing?
No.
Yes.
A former president of the United States, Lyndon B. Johnson. There are tons of stories that apparently, as like a power move, he would whip his dick out in the White House all the time.
Really
to like
now?
dudes, like
it
to
was
other guys.
Very
And it was
well
big.
endowed.
And
too.
apparently he had
Well,
a
of
massive
course.
dick and would just whip it out frequently to like intimidate dudes.
Whoa.
This isn't that long ago. This is the 1960s.
1960s. They got down like that back in the days.
guess
man.
so, bro.
I know for a fact.